Welcome to Get in the Ring with DJ D Coops and Beast Mike on the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
Welcome. Get in the here on Suplex on Radio. Oh, we have something going on, Carl.
Yes, we are still Monco people at heart.
And Beast Mike is in a bus terminal right now.
I'm not in a bus terminal. I'm in an incredibly prominent place. I'm actually in Union Station. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm in Union Station in Washington, D.C. Well, the answer is pretty simple. I just finished up my first day at SiriusXM. Yes, that's SiriusXM. I will be running sports play-by-play and board hopping for various sporting events coming soon. So, naturally, I'll be back here in D.C. Over the coming days, weeks, months, etc., doing my thing here. So I'm going to get used to this place, I guess. It's very windy here. It's a beautiful day outside. It's really, really windy. I did get a picture of the Capitol building. I'll put it on Instagram later. Beast Mike 215.
Yes.
Follow me there.
Yes, Union Station in Washington, D.C. We are national here on Get in the Ring. Bryn Mawr, Lower Merion, Pennsylvania. Union Station, Washington, D.C.
Yep, I'll be here for the next 40 minutes or so, and then I got to get out of here to get back to Philly. So I'll sort of chill out and chill for Philly for a day, and then go back to State College. That's my itinerary, I guess you could say.
We have a lot to get to in 40 minutes.
Yeah, we do. So let's get right to it.
Super Showdown. That just happened.
Super Showdown, yeah, that's the breaking news that dropped. Super Showdown, or as I've called it, Blood Money. Was it Blood Money 5 now?
Blood Money 5. The Good Brothers defeat the Viking Raiders. Who cares?
Yeah, since the Viking Raiders lost the tag titles, they lost their appeal. It seemed like they lost their appeal pretty much. And the Good Brothers getting a dub over them. Okay, that's a good win for them, I suppose. And also, did you hear the situation about like how so many people couldn't get in or out because of the coronavirus?
Oh God!
Couldn't get in or out of Saudi Arabia. Some of the WWE got in, but like some of the people like weren't allowed to go to Jeddah to deal with the coronavirus outbreak. Yeah, or Riyadh, yeah, Riyadh for the coronavirus situation. It's wild. Yeah. It's absolutely wild, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Your brothers get it done there.
How do you say the mountain's name?
Tuareg. Tuareg.
Mm-hmm. Mountain trophy gauntlet match. The Undertaker showed up and won it. He wasn't even in the goddamn match.
Because of course. So how it went down, R-Truth beat Lashley. They were the first to win. R-Truth won by pin. Then R-Truth beat Andrade via pin. Then he beat Eric Rowan via DQ. AJ came out next after he took Iron Claw, and then he was easy picking with the calf wrestling. Rey Mysterio came out without him coming out of the ring because Carl said the OC jumped Rey Mysterio. So he got the 10 count taken in there, and then Undertaker beats AJ via pinfall to win the ridiculous trophy. So Taker wins the trophy. Taker wins. And he really wasn't even in this tournament. Although Taker Styles at WrestleMania, if that happens, I'm good with it. I think it'll actually be a good match if they have a straight-up match.
Sorry, I regret getting the water because now I'm coughing up a storm again.
Anyway,
The Miz and Morrison, standard tag. Started a bit slow, but it developed into a good match.
Morrison and when Morrison and Kofi went one-on-one earlier this month, it was a really good match. And the more they seem to throw down, the better it is. So I'm here for more Morrison and Kofi one-on-ones, but ultimately it was Miz and Morrison. Miz rolled up Kofi to get the pin, and they are the tag champions for SmackDown. I think
we disagree not to do Raw and SmackDown because this covers Raw and SmackDown.
This kind of handles both of them, yeah. So it's no point in really doing anything prior to the show. You're right.
Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza.
And so these two have obviously good chemistry, obviously being cousins. Good flows together. And it's Garza beating Carrillo yet again, getting it done. I like watching these two dudes in the ring. I'm going to go back and watch it because I think it's probably...
It was pretty good.
It's probably
just
a good match.
The crowd didn't care. Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy versus the Street Profits. It was just a good match. Never get to that next gear.
I think there's more that they can do, which I could argue why they didn't get there. I think the Street Profits are destined to be Raw Tag Team Champions. I think it's only a matter of time before they get the titles. But it just wasn't their time yet.
Plus, no one cares on these Saudi Arabia shows, which gets to my next point. Mansoor versus Dolph Ziggler.
I hate this. I hate that Mansoor is only used here. It's only used in these Saudi shows because Mansoor could actually go. He could actually wrestle. I want to see Mansoor wrestle more so on the stage. I think I said this last year.
Dolph is just bland here, and
because you already know the ending. You already know the ending. Mansoor
just gets on top, does a couple of babyface comeback spots, moonsault win.
That's what I'm saying. Like you already know how this is gonna play out. Dolph's a good worker, so obviously he's gonna make Mansoor look good. He's gonna put him over really well. Mansoor's gonna win the match with obviously the comebacks you just mentioned. He'll probably cut a promo after the match, and everybody gets their feel-good moment. I hate this because it's predictable and it's just already you already know what's gonna happen. But Mansoor should have a little bit of a run in the States. I want to see Mansoor actually do something over on NXT.
But he probably won't because people will view him as a heel because he's from Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's sad but true.
Ricochet charges in. Oh, we're talking about Ricochet versus Brock Lesnar. This lasted all but a minute 30. Ricochet charges, but that was a mistake as Brock starts to maul him. Brock follows with Germans. Rags a darling Ricochet. F5 then follows, and then Brock dances on Ricochet's corpse.
Way too easy. This felt like the Kofi WWE title match, where you basically have Brock destroy him in a shorter time than most commercials.
And then the most boring cage match ever. We got like a really exciting cage match last week between Mr. Mayhem himself and Cody. This was the opposite of that.
I just hope this rivalry's over and done with. If you want to put them both in the Elimination Chamber, fine. But I just hope this rivalry's over and done with once and for all. I just think you kind of drag this out long enough to at least get through this, and then I guess have them go to separate ways for WrestleMania season. But yeah, I think it's about time this rivalry ended. I would have been cool if this ended at the Royal Rumble, personally. But
this was
fucking closes it out. Razorleaf closes it out, and that's it. I think this rivalry needs to be over and done with.
WWE cage matches suck. Moving on, Bayley, Naomi, dressed in full bodysuits.
Yeah, just like Natalya and Lacey last year. That part's not really surprising. They did it last year with Natalya and Lacey. Bayley gets it done, but it's a good match.
It was solid.
Yeah, Bayley and Naomi put it together really well. I think this is probably the beginning of this rivalry with Bayley and Naomi, and I want to see more of it. I think these two have solid chemistry and work together. So I think there's better ahead for both of them. But this was a good match. And then I hate this.
And then I Laugh.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I hate this.
Ass off.
I hate this. I really do.
So Goldberg, I'll run down the match because Goldberg hits spear for the 2. Fiend gets the mandible claw. Goldberg escapes. Spear for a 2. 3 spears for a 2. That's 4 spears.
Michael Cole probably yelling his head off.
Fiend gets the mandible claw again. Goldberg fights and follows with knee strikes, and then the jackhammer for the win. It was a match.
How to
5
kill off,
fucking stars.
How to kill off
all the
how to
stars.
kill off how to kill off one of your better characters in the last 6 months in less than 90 seconds.
It was 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
2 minutes and 10
So it was
seconds.
130 seconds.
130 seconds. This is I think what happened here is that Goldberg and Brock had a bet to see who can win their match the fastest, and obviously Brock won. Brock won by 40 seconds. I hate this. I really do. How to kill off one of your better, your hotter characters in 2 minutes.
He's not really that hot though.
He's not hot anymore. He was hot when he came out. He was hot when he came out, but yeah, he was cooling off a bit.
He wasn't hot at all.
No, he came out guns blazing. He came out guns blazing with this character.
Who cares?
He wasn't high after Daniel Bryan stuff had cooled off, even though that was a good strap match. But I hate this. I don't like part-timers as world champions. I don't, unless they're putting over younger talent. I don't like the part-timers as world champions. It just doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. So Goldberg wins the Universal Championship, and I think they made something a big deal of Goldberg being the first Hall of Famer to win a world championship after being inducted. Something to that effect.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's just funny. AEW Dynamite. Fantastic. NXT. Dull and bland.
I like Bianca Charlotte. I liked
Bianca Charlotte was just bland to me. When you compare everything to Omega versus Pac,
there is no comparison.
There is no fucking comparison.
There lies the problem. That's the Omega Pac is its own tier. That's a match of the year candidate right there.
And then you even compare it to Jurassic Express versus Inner Circle, and
which was also their match. Yeah, their match with Ortiz and
everything else had heat. Everything else has excitement. Wholesale was just dying a death, and then they have the audacity to go to the Performance Center next week.
Ugh.
Yikes!
Wait, are they doing a cage match with Tegan and Dakota?
They're doing 2 cage matches next week.
No.
The Roddy cage matches suck.
I thought Velveteen was in 2 weeks. I thought Roddy Velveteen was in 2 weeks.
They're doing 2 cage matches next week.
I think both matches should have some sort of step, but cage matches back to back. I don't know if I like that.
Let's go to Kenny versus Pac. This was a beautiful match.
Kenny versus Pac is a dope match.
Excellent use for the time given. It never really slowed down. The action was tremendous.
Yeah, it was.
Kenny finally ends his issues with Pac. Crowd was into it the entire time. The drama was in. Some of the bumps in here was insane. Pac shooting star to the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? The count out spot, that was really cool. And then after the point where Tony interviews Pac says Pac wants no part of Tony trying to take the piss out of him. Orange Cassidy arrived.
I like how they set this up. Like it's so innocent. And
every match feels hot.
I like how they set it up, and like it made it a very seamless transition to okay, we know what Omega's doing because he's defending the titles with Hangman, but then they set up Pac. Okay, what's Pac gonna do at Revolution? All right, he just caught Orange Cassidy. Boom, you set it up. I love it. That was seamless. I like that. That is really, really well played.
Meanwhile, in NXT, we have a perfectly serviceable Dominic Dijakovic versus Cameron Grimes match that Cameron Grimes won for no reason.
He won it only because of Damian Priest. And I think that's perfectly fine. Damian Priest, because we know Dijakovic is still coming after Keith Lee. And if Damian Priest takes out Dijakovic, it means one less challenger for Keith to get the North American Championship. That makes sense. I'm perfectly okay with it. Now you're pretty much setting up Priest to go after Keith Lee and or Dijakovic to join, or Priest to join Dijakovic and Keith and make it a triple threat and take over Tampa. I think that's fine. I think that's fine the way they played this off. Or if you join Cameron Grimes because he beat Dijakovic, you got a fatal four-way. You set it up well. All four guys can go and they all mesh pretty well. I think it's actually fine the way they did this.
Okay. Then Balor arrives, says he's on Moves Guy or a stooge at the office.
Now, yeah, they have basically Eichner and Bartel effectively act like goons for the Imperium, which it's obviously seems like they're going to set up Finn versus Walter. I think that's what I got from this. Okay, cool. I think Finn versus Walter will be dope. And I think that'll be legitimately a good match. But to have Balor, now you give him a reason to go to UK and on Imperium. I think that's actually going to be, that could be productive.
Mia Yim versus Lee, squash, city.
Yeah, it's clear they're setting up Mia and Dakota to do something after Dakota versus Tegan happens. But yeah, this match was not that hot to me. Mia gets the win, but yeah, this wasn't all that hot to me.
Velveteen Dream cuts a promo in front of the mirror, but Lexi tries to interview Jericho, but Hager stands in front there and just stands there before closing the door. We got the Inner Circle.
Yep.
With that cool music.
They do, and the music is dope, no lie.
Versus the Jurassic Express, which has cool music. Cool.
Y'all know how much I like how much I like Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy's nice too, but y'all know how much I love Luchasaurus. And
this was a really good match. Tremendously.
It really was. All six dudes really put in work, and I liked some of the double teams, the triple teams that were involved there. That triple Yakuza kick by Jurassic Express I thought was dope, and a good statement win for Jurassic Express too. Well done.
Yes. Jurassic Express defeats Inner Circle via pin at 3.5 stars. We got an MJF Cody great video package, and this
you already knew this was gonna be dope. You already knew this video package was gonna be dope, and they set it up. This whole rivalry is set up really, really well, and I think this is the match I'm most looking forward to, with the pay-per-view.
Oh, we have to go over Revolution. Yes, AEW Revolution. We have to do our prediction. Tommaso Ciampa versus
You know what? Austin Theory would look good. Austin Theory did not look out his weight class. He didn't look nervous. He didn't look like he was in over his head. He looked good in this match. Austin Theory's got a real future at NXT, and I look forward to seeing more of it. Ciampa was just experience was too much, and it was obvious that Ciampa should win the match, and he did. But Austin Theory looked good. I'm cool with Austin Theory in NXT. I want more of this.
And then
Gargano Ciampa. Which, okay, fine. We're getting more Gargano Ciampa stuff. Okay. We knew this was coming.
I'm tired of Gargano Ciampa. But
I get it. I understand. They've done it a lot and probably too much. I understand.
Undisputed Era cut a promo.
As they set up Roddy versus Velveteen in the cage, and then we'll obviously Fish and O'Reilly are still not done with Broserweights, and Adam Cole. We'll see what kind of challenger he gets for Tampa, but we'll see. Oh, and so something that was that we didn't cover during the NXT Women's Championship #1 contendership will be in a ladder match at TakeOver Tampa. Obviously, Rhea's defending the title at WrestleMania, so you're not gonna have her do double duty. And there's gonna be a series of qualifying matches coming up in the coming weeks to determine who gets. I believe it's 4 women that's gonna be involved, and obviously the winner of TakeOver Tampa gets next crack at whoever the women's champion is.
Butcher and the Blade versus Best Friends.
A productive match.
Very productive match here. Tells the story of Orange Cassidy and the Bunny.
Yep, a follow-up to that story. Obviously, the last time they faced off, Cassidy got kicked low, which led to the Butcher and the Blade getting the better of the best friends. So I like how they ran it back and then had Orange Cassidy take the bunny ears from the bunny, which I think was that was well played.
And then the greatest segment of all time, Tony, Best Friends, and Orange Cassidy.
That was great. That was great. That was great.
All three of them going for the hug at the end.
Honestly, I think I like Shivani better doing the interviews than play-by-play. Personally, I think I'd rather see Shivani be the main interview person.
Big Troll, Sashana, Karushida, and Yuka Sakazaki. This was pretty good.
On the dope show, this probably was the worst match, and that's not even just in the match. The match itself was good. So.
Yep. And the Karushida won right decision.
Mhm. As after Revolution happens, maybe she's next in line. Maybe she's the next person up to go after, I would presume, Nyla Rose.
Killian Dane, Bronson Reed. Pretty good house battle.
Yeah, a good house battle.
Bruiserweight's video package.
Ultimate Killian Dane won the house battle. Bruiserweights is they're keeping them strong. They're obviously an entertaining team, entertaining tag champions. They're going to do something at TakeOver. You would think it just seems like they're going to fight GYVs, who also on NXT beat the Forgotten Sons, as it sounded like they were kind of turning Forgotten Sons face for that match. A good match, though. That was probably the best I've seen Forgotten Sons in the 2-on-2.
Yeah, but still not very good. But with Dark Order announces that Sky and Kazarian at Revolution, they're facing Sky and Kazarian at Revolution, and that Daniels will become the word obsolete. Hinting.
Yeah, we know where this is going.
You know what it is.
Speaking of new people allegedly come to AEW, talk about Lance.
Everybody dies.
Let's talk about Lance Archer coming to AEW. I think it's gonna be a high situation there.
It'll debut next week.
I like it.
It's the only thing announced for next week because it'll fall out from the pay-per-view. Jim Ross and that interview Fox, Kenny, and Paige. And Paige, this character.
This Hangman Page, this screams heel turn. This screams Bucks winning the titles and then Paige turning on Kenny. This screams that.
But I see the other way around. I see Kenny turning on her. Or I see the Bucks turning heel. Because Paige is garnering the sympathy here.
He is over with all the beer drinking. I will give you that.
Yes. So and then for the love of God, give me a lower third this week, even if it's just for one frame. Hangman Adam Page. And then your main event for NXT was
Charlotte vs. Bianca.
It was an okay match.
I think there's a higher level they can both go, and I think both did pretty well to show off their athleticism. I do want to see Bianca Charlotte on a bigger stage, but Charlotte getting the win was a little obvious.
It was disappointing, honestly.
I didn't love the after the match stuff. I didn't love the Bianca.
Brutality.
I didn't love that. I'm not a fan of that, honestly. I think that was a bad look. I think they made Bianca look really bad in that situation. Unless the plan is Bianca to jump Charlotte on Raw at some point to try to get her way into the match. But other than that, I don't like it. I don't like how they did this with Bianca. I honestly don't.
Meanwhile, in Dynamite, hot angle alert.
Okay, the close of Dynamite really set the title match up really, really well. I'm a fan of this.
First off, the Inner Circle did the Gracie train.
Yes.
And then they get Gary Michael Capetta, who I've met. Very nice man.
Okay. Jericho claps at him. I thought that was funny. Jericho got some jabs in. I thought it was
Jericho's stalling.
Mm-hmm. I think he tried to clap him Mahomes. I think Aaron Mahomes. I think he tried to climb Mahomes. I think he botched it a little bit, but it was still good.
He tells Casey to shut its ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mock busts Jericho open with a headbutt.
And it leads to a full-scale brawl. It leads to a full-scale brawl, and it leads to Dustin came out to come after Hager. That was a good part of the deal. And
Not the Dippin' Dots.
Not the Dippin' Dots. Oh, yeah, they better get sponsorships from Dippin' Dots and Starbucks with all this that's going on, especially Starbucks with Shivani. If Starbucks is Shivani's not in a commercial with Starbucks and Britt Baker, I'd be so disappointed.
And then Darby arrives.
It gets beat up with his own skateboard, and then Jericho gets the last word with a paradigm shift and the Judas effect. The Judas effect came first, and then the paradigm shift onto the scale.
I am so hyped for this pay-per-view.
This pay-per-view looks like it's gonna be fire. It really does. This pay-per-view looks like it's gonna be fire.
So we have 8 matches for this pay-per-view. 1 pre-show match, 7 main show matches. So we'll preview them bottom to top. So we have SCU, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky with Christopher Daniels versus the Dark Order, Evo Uno and Stu Grayson with Alex Reynolds and John Silver. Where do you see them going?
I think they're gonna go Dark Order, and then have the reveal.
I think they go Dark Order here too, but I don't know. SCU might pull off the upset.
Mm-hmm.
Pac versus Freshly Squeezed.
This will be entertaining, but I think Pac's just a little bit too much. It's gonna be too much.
Pac is a push commodity here. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Nyla Rose versus Chris Statlander.
I like how they've had Nyla's run to the title. I have to think it continues. Nyla retains.
I think Nyla retains here. Chris Statlander's a little too green.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to explain her gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
So, Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. A match I'm very hyped for.
This match is actually going to be good. Sammy Guevara on the low is an unsung hero of the Inner Circle. And Darby Allin on a big stage with his first true rivalry, I would say, in AEW. I think the match is going to be dope. I'm going to go with Darby, but it's going to be a really, really good match.
Yes. I'm going to say Sammy.
Okay.
Rivalry continues.
All right.
Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes. Can you believe it? Like 4 or 5 years ago, they were wrestling on WWE Main Event.
You're not kidding. Yeah, no kidding.
No, I'm not even
as Jack Swagger and Goldust, and neither had a real direction at the time. Both of them have a real
fourth from the top pay-per-view match.
Yeah,
and people
and
are actually looking
real good directions now. And both have, and they have true emotions. There's true emotional draws with both. I think Hager's too much. I think they've done a good job of building Hager up as this monster, and like as the muscle of the Inner Circle. I think Hager's too much.
Yeah, I think Hager's too much. I think what's going to happen later on in the night may have something to do with this as well.
That's possible. Yeah, that's possible too.
I think Dustin gets the win because of something that happens later on.
All right.
Kenny and Paige versus the Bucks. I think Kenny and Paige retain, and the Bucks get jealous and turn heel.
I think it's the other way around. I think the Bucks win the titles, and Kenny, Hangman turns on Kenny.
I think Paige is too big for him.
I agree. He's over because of the beer drinking, but I think he'd be over as a heel doing it just as well, and maybe even more so. But that should be. I
disagree, but they could have really built. Do you feel that they could have done the cage match, the Wardlow cage match, in this spot on paper? Yes, I do.
They could have, yes. That was a
because you can't ever
That was a pay-per-view worthy match.
Put the spoils on Cody getting his hands on MJF for the first time ever again.
This is true. But I think they've done such a great job in building this up. I'm perfectly cool with the way they did this, and Atlanta being a really good and kind of being a secondary home base. I'll consider Jacksonville.
But I think Chicago would have gone a lot crazier for the Wardlow cage match.
I don't know. I think Chicago will be nuclear hot for MJF. I think it'll be nuclear hot anti-MJF. Which is what I think.
I was just saying it as a point.
No,
you could have put this out for another 3-month cycle. And
are
you
really going to have them wait half a year to build this up? And
yes. This is old school booking now.
True.
Old school booking and Cody's Dusty son.
Mm-hmm.
And Cody thinks like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they do quarterly pay-per-views, so having them wait till Double or Nothing for Cody to get his hands on MJF.
It seems like that's their signature pay-per-view, right? I get it.
Which is their signature pay-per-view. I would have waited till Double or Nothing, in my opinion. I would have done the Wardlow cage match in this spot.
All right.
In my opinion.
It's not. I don't think you're out of bounds. I just think
I'm not out of bounds here.
Yeah, I don't think you're out of bounds.
I wouldn't have given the Wardlow cage match away for free on TV.
That was pay-per-view worthy. I will absolutely give you that. It was definitely a pay-per-view worthy match.
Especially the way that match turned out.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like it turned out really well. The drama was great. The crowd was great. Everything about
Wardlow was great.
And Wardlow was dope. I like Lisa Wardlow. Wardlow is dope.
Plus you have the security blanket of Chris Jericho versus John fucking Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
Plus you could main event with Cody versus MJF.
You sure could.
Cody versus MJF on top.
Cody gets revenge.
And do a tag with Chris Jericho.
You could. I think Cody gets revenge.
It's worth something to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this match could have been bigger.
That's fair. Or you have.
I'm not saying this is a failure. No. This is a success. I'm looking forward to.
This is the match I'm most looking forward to. This is absolutely the match I'm most looking forward to. Is Cody MJF. Just to see Cody get the payout. But I think it's a.
You can't get it, and
unless you have MJF win this match, and then Cody get revenge at Double or Nothing. You could do that. Have MJF continue to be a thorn in Cody's side.
The way I would find, it's just MJF will blow him right as the bell rings.
That could also be a thing.
I'm gonna message this on the social suplex.
It's a good
what if point. MJF low blows Cody.
Cody gets a cheap win.
Right as the bell rings.
And he gets a cheap win. That's it. That's
and
an
Cody
interesting point.
Wins.
Wait, Cody wins or MJF wins?
Cody wins. Okay. Cody wins the match.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean.
So Cody, as he just dropped it.
You know what I mean.
So all right, no, it's an interesting way to do it. I think it's
a creative way of doing it.
It is. Quite the interesting scenario that the AEW could actually pull off, and I think it would work.
I think Cody would be creative enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the heat it would get.
Oh yeah,
I think the place would riot if MJF just kicks Cody in the dick.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the route to do it. If you're gonna do that, you have MJF get the cheap win, and then they play this out for Double or Nothing. Cody actually gets ultimate payback. I can see that. That makes sense. I think that would be good.
I think that's the best finish.
That's a good flow. Why MJF distracts the ref or something? You have Wardlow do damage on Cody.
I would just have MJF.
Or just have MJF do it? Okay. Low blow, double cross, and that's it?
No Wardlow double claws.
No. Low blow, and then MJF does a double cross on Cody. Yeah. And then that's it. That's one way to do it. And then the main event of Mox versus Jericho.
The palate cleanser.
This one's hard to predict. Mox is coming in with
I think Jericho wins because Jericho's the best. Is your ratings?
Mm-hmm. Mox would be a really good world champion, but I have Jericho hold the title till Double or Nothing. I do agree with you. I think Chris retains. I do agree with you. I think Chris retains. But I think this is going to be a really, really good show. Start to finish, this looks like this is going to be a really, really good show. Two things before I get out of here. You saw Deontay Wilder get that work, right?
Yeah.
Tyson Fury, he couldn't hit him. First off, Deontay Wilder looking like Shredder. That was a dumb decision, sir. Out here with 40 pounds of gear on before the fight. That was a dumb decision. And you gained 30 pounds, like 20, 30 pounds before the fight started? That was dumb, sir. That was a really, really bad decision. You looked slow, and you looked out of it, dealing with a dude whose main claim to fame is defense and speed. Tyson Fury is 370 pounds, but dude's got some speed on him. And his defense is really, really rock solid. And for him, and that was Fury made that look easy. He made that look real. This fight could have ended much sooner, but he made it look real, real easy. So Fury's WBC World Champion. Yes, Wilder revoked his rematch clause as you would expect. But I would like to see Fury versus Anthony Joshua. I think that should be the next fight. And then you can have Wilder and Fury run it back, probably a year from now. But I'd like to see Anthony Joshua get next against Tyson Fury. I want to see Anthony Joshua could do. And then, as I'm looking at this, looks like the first time ever, two women will compete for the Impact World Championship. Tessa Blanchard defends the title against Valkyrie. On
Aya Valkyrie.
Aya Valkyrie for the World Championship.
Who's John Morrison's wife?
Yes.
Wife.
So that's interesting news that dropped there. So I'm gonna get out of here. So before I do, Twitter.com/BeastMike is where you can find me. That's where obviously I'm gonna be, whether I'm in Philly or back in college, watching Revolution. I'm gonna try to watch it, and I obviously have my thoughts and put them out there. Yeah. So my to continue to do more stuff. So I appreciate the love of getting on social media. That I've revealed my breaking news, and I'm gonna continue to do my thing. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna catch y'all later.
Bye.